Hey guys, hey, I hope you all are doing well. I'm not. I'm not doing well. I'm triggered. I am triggered, okay? So, so I just watched the interview Promise Makunyane did with Ndivhu T on her channel a week ago. And when I tell you that mean girls trigger me, I'm not even joking. Now, I like some of Promise Makunyane's content. I'm not a fan of her personal life, right? But she has had some really solid people on her podcast. Like that lady who went from living in a shack, a leaking shack, to owning properties. I like stories like that. I love seeing black women winning. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I like seeing black women winning, and that's why I'm triggered. When I tell you the subliminal shade that these two ladies were throwing at Owami was very clear to see. Very clear to see. I don't agree with everything Owami says, ne? But my discerning spirit will always catch it when a mean girl is being mean, especially when they hide behind the name of God after being mean. I never miss it. It's always very clear to me, very clear and very demonic. Okay, let me explain. So back in the day, Oami became Duty's mentor, right? And she helped her obtain success on YouTube, helped her with whatever she was helping her with. We don't know the basics of, or not the basics, what are they called? We don't know the details of the whole relationship that they had. All we know is Owami was Ndivhu's mentor, right? Until they fell out and they stopped talking. Okay. Then about 2 years ago or so, Owami did content on her channel about a TikTok influencer by the name of Promise Makunyana or Promise Makunyane. So this influencer said she would never leave her cheating husband. And so this is what Owami was doing content about. She said she'd never leave her cheating husband. But the part that Owami was doing content on wasn't the fact that this lady said she'd never leave her husband. Owami's main issue was that Promise had been alienating a child that her husband had with another woman. So it seems like this child was made before they got married, but or during their break. This was a break baby, so to speak, right? So he had a child with somebody else when they were broken up. So this is the child that Promise didn't want anything to do with. And apparently, allegedly, she was also, trying to stop her husband from having a relationship with this child. So this was the video that Owami had made. This was the content that she did. And Promise was not happy. Promise did not like that. So that's how their beef started, right? And Promise to me seems like one of those women who, if they don't like you, they try to find other people who also don't like you so they can form this clique and hate you as a group. Hate you as a group because she's not, brave enough to hate you on her own. She needs help, right? So I believe she gravitated towards Ndivhu T because she knew that Ndivhu T and Owami were once close and were no longer friends. I think she befriended Ndivhu T because they had a common enemy who was Owami. And I'm saying this because most of us have met people like this in our lives. People who they don't like you, they are going to go out there and find other people who don't like you so they can form this squad that's gonna be mean towards you, or this squad that's gonna fight you together, something like that. We've all experienced it. I mean, the lady even drove all the way to the Free State to interview Owami's ex-husband to hopefully get some dirt on Owami under the guise of, oh, I just wanted him to tell his side of the story. He has a right to tell his side of the story. No, ma'am, you didn't. You did not want him to tell his side of the story. You wanted dirt on Owami because you had beef with Owami. Because what does Owami's YouTube salary have to do with his side of the story? Oh, how much was she making from YouTube? What's the highest amount she made from YouTube at the time? That's his side of the story? Really? What does that have to do with his side of the story? Anyway, I digress. Back to this Ndivhu T interview, right? Ndivhu T reveals that God told her to stop doing celebrity gossip news because she wasn't able to sleep at night. It was unethical, blah, blah, blah. It was against her beliefs. Okay. Interesting that she waited until she made all that money, the whole 2 million, before she realized that gossip channels were against her principles. Where it gets spicy though is when they bring up Sims Right and they say, no, she's the one blogger who does her celebrity gossip in such an ethical way. An ethical way. I don't know if that's the word they used, but apparently Sims is the one who does it in an ethical way. Unlike the others, you can tell Sims is not coming from a malicious place. I know. So there's a malicious place to this thing. I would think that talking about people is just talking about people. It's all the same. But apparently there's people who are coming from a malicious place and those who are not coming from a malicious place. Those who are coming from a vile place or whatever word she Promise used. But apparently Sims is one of those who does it, who packages it well. Okay. So later on in the interview, Ndivhu T reveals she stopped posting her clients on social media, her studio clients, because other people who own filming studios would call her clients to try and poach them. And then Promise smirks and says, I'm sure. I'm like, what in the high school is all of this? Now we all know that Owami has a studio that she also rents out to people who want to record their podcasts and everything, right? And we also know that Owami is also the biggest blogger, the biggest gossip blogger in SA, right? So why take shots at what this lady is doing to make her money when you did the same thing at one point? Why? You stopped doing gossip blogging because it was unethical to you. But as a born-again Christian, you are now a Mashonisa, charging people up to 40% interest. And you think that's ethical? What does your Bible say about charging interest, ma'am, when you lend money to people? What does it say? You see, this is the kind of hypocrisy that annoys me. Sitting there on your high horse, acting holier than thou because you stopped doing gossip blogging. But you're out here committing a sin of charging people interest on your loans. And you think you're better than someone. You think you're better than someone else because they sin differently from you. Are you serious? Guys, get off your high horse. Get off your high horse. You are not better. And this is the issue. Most Christians are the biggest hypocrites you will ever find. You know, Muslims respect their teachings or what the Quran teaches about loans and about not charging interest. In fact, no religion supports charging interest on loans, including Christianity. All religions prohibit it. But of course, Christians are going to do the opposite of what the Bible teaches and still act like they are more holy than someone else. No. Did you really leave gossip blogging because you felt bad about discussing people, or did you leave because you realized you could never be better than the girl who mentored you? Because she was your mentor. Were you in competition with her? Were you hoping that after your fallout with her, people are going to stop supporting her and then come over and support you? Were you hoping that you would destroy her channel and you'd have all of those supporters for yourself? Is that what you're hoping for? Is that what you're hoping for? And then when it didn't happen, you realize now you're going to stop blogging because, it's so unethical. But you're a Mashonisa though. You're a Mashonisa, you're charging interest. I'd understand if you're borrowing people money, and they would return it as it was without any interest. You are charging them interest up to 40% from what you said on that interview. So what makes you better? And then Promise went and pinned a comment on that video talking about, you must be a vile person in order to discuss people's personal lives, blah, 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 blah. No. What is vile is a woman who doesn't want her husband to have a relationship with his flesh and blood just because she, as a wife, has a problem with the child's mother. That's what's vile. That's what a vile person is. A vile person is the one who takes jabs at other women just because they love themselves enough to divorce their cheating husbands. That's what a vile person is. Just because you would never divorce your cheating husband doesn't mean you get to take jabs at people who love themselves enough to walk away. No. And both of them, both Promise and Ndivhu T, have said that they don't want to be divorcees. Promise asked about, there was also a discussion in this interview about Ndivhu T having, trapping her husband to have the 2 kids that they have. And she mentioned that she didn't want to be a divorcee. Was it before then when at church, they wanted her to divorce so they could remarry again and do it the right way? And she said, no, I didn't want to be a divorcee. And Promise has said before that she didn't want to be a divorcee, right? Let people live their lives in peace. Let's stop the mean girl behavior towards women who chose to be divorcees rather than unhappy wives. They are not perfect. You are not perfect either. Run your Mashonisa business in peace. Let other kids do their gossip blogging in peace. God will be the ultimate judge. So the mean girl behavior is not cute. We see you, Shami, and it's not cute. It is not cute. You cannot fool all your viewers. Some people may not be able to notice it, but not all your viewers are stupid. It's not cute. Leave this girl alone. All she's doing is living her life. And yes, she's glowing after her divorce. Yes, she's made more money after her divorce. That's exactly how God works. If the man was the wrong person for you, you will glow after you let him go. You'll make more money after you let him go. That's just how it is. Leave her alone. You're not perfect. Live your lives. Let her live hers. It is annoying at this point. Like, it's annoying. It's annoying. Everybody's going through something. This girl is going through her mental issues. She did a video the other day crying about how she was misdiagnosed. We all know the struggles she's going through with her father and the younger sister. Like, what do you all want from this girl? All she did was a video talking about how you don't want your husband to have a relationship with his child. That's all she did. And everybody's entitled to their opinion. You can do a video about her as well, just as she did a video about you. You know what? I'm out. I'm out. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Ciao.